don't want to be an alpha male. I've given up on this. I know you're not going to like this. There's a lot of confusion about what does it mean to be an alpha male. You don't have to be a hard ass all the time to be a quote alpha male. Austin says, hey, I got your email about the beta male thing. I know you're not going to like this, but I've given up on being an alpha male. I just feel super weak and just found it's easier to be myself and be okay with it. I know you're not going to agree, but I got to do what's best for me. I go to group therapy on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now I just can't be a hard ass all the time and never get therapy. Okay, so let's talk about this. All right, first of all, you don't have to be a hard ass all the time to be a quote alpha male, right? And in fact, like I said, I don't like the term. In fact, what Austin said here is he says, I found it's just easier to be myself and be okay with it. That is being an alpha male, right? To a degree, right? So what does it mean, right? I talk about all the time about being a man. I think that's a better thing to talk about than being an alpha male. But what does it mean to be a man, right? It means that you do what you want to do, all right? It means that you're comfortable in your own skin. It means that you're comfortable being yourself. Now, it doesn't stop there though, because there's plenty of people that will say that, all right, but it's not true because who you want to become is part of that. And so if you're not living up to your potential, if you're not being a guy that's actually going after your dreams, if you're not actually improving yourself, then being yourself, it doesn't count. Why? Because it's not your true self. Because I believe your true authentic self is the person you desire to be. Okay. And you're becoming, your job on this earth is to become that person, right? You have that on you. You feel like you want to be that person because that's who you truly are. I don't believe that you decide who you are. I believe that you become who you truly are. And that is the desire that you have within you. Now you could say it's semantics. We're just, it's two different ways to look at things. And I would agree with you. Okay. You could say it's becoming who you are and deciding who you want to become. But I believe that you will become who you are when you let go of all the stuff that's who you're not. And the desires that you have of being this person is actually who you are. And so, a lot of guys get caught up on this. They get confused. They get hung up on, I need to be an alpha male. Forget about that. Okay. What you need to do is you need to live your potential. Okay. So if you're a guy who knows that you could be doing better in life, right? You could be getting to the gym, getting in shape. All right. You could be facing your social anxiety, right? Going out and talking to girls, going out there and making stuff happen. All right. Instead of being afraid. All right. If you need to stop playing video games, stop being lazy, right? Start being productive again, start a business, start making more money, start reading books. Those are things that you feel guilty about for a good reason, because you need to be doing those things. You need to be improving yourself. Okay. It's pushing you in the direction, right? Pain is always a message. All right. You have to find out what is the message. That it's really critical that you find that out. So don't just excuse that and say, oh, I'm just going to be myself, right? This is where it doesn't work. This is where being yourself is not the thing you want to be. You want to be the best version of yourself. Okay. You need to be comfortable with where you are right now, right? You need to say, okay, I'm okay with who I am right now. That is being quote alpha. That is being a man, to say, all right, this is where I'm at right now. All right, man, I'm a little overweight. I'm a little lazy, whatever this is. I'm cool with that though. I'm not ashamed by that. I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm not going to try to pretend like I'm not that, like I'm someone who I'm not. Okay, that's being myself. But I have aspirations of being better, and I will be better, and I'm on that path. Because if you're not changing that, if you're not changing and growing to who your potential is, you're not really truly being who you are anyway. Like you're lying to yourself. You're saying, oh, I'm happy with this. I'm happy being this way, but you're not. Now, the second thing I want to address here, again, is this idea of being this hard ass all the time. Now, before I get into that, if you guys haven't already, go check out the Bulldog Mindset membership. This will clear up some of this confusion that you guys have about being an alpha male, how to interact with women, how to interact with other guys. I have a ton of lessons here on mindset, on fitness, on relationships, on finance, how to build a business, how to become financially independent, all that stuff that you need, everything that I feel like you need in life, I put together here. $7 for the first month, and then it's a regular monthly fee after that. It's been going up, so I'm not going to say the fee here, but I've been raising it. I'm going to continue to raise it because it is high value. It's becoming more and more valuable. There's a discussion group in there. There's all kinds of stuff. Just go check it out, at least for the first month, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, now, The second thing, like I said, I want to address was this being a hard ass all the time. Okay. You have the wrong idea of being an alpha male in your head. Okay. It's not being a loud mouth, hard ass guy that's super tough all the time. Okay. Now there's some degree of mental toughness, but that's not, you don't display that overtly and by being an asshole to people. That's not what it is, right? A lot of guys think that, oh, I need to like transform and be this fake kind of, alpha guy. No, it's not about that at all. Instead, it's more about the inner work that you're doing, right? Becoming a guy who has a high value for yourself, right? If you have a high value for yourself, right? I did a talk recently where I was talking about the principles to live your life as a man. By the way, I'm going to be doing a whole principles series in the Bulldog Mindset membership. So I highly encourage you check that out. But in that talk, I talked about one thing that you could make you successful in relationships or with women was, and the most important thing was, do not allow someone to treat you a way that you don't want to be treated. That's it, period. Okay. If you just have that, if you just say, I'm not going to allow people in my life to treat me a way that I don't want to be treated, it means that you have self-efficacy. It means that you have a high degree of self-respect for yourself. Okay. And you're going to act in that way in all fashions. You won't have to try and figure out, okay, what's alpha behavior? How should I, try to act like a big hard ass? Because you just be like, look, you'll be polite to people. You're like, look, I don't allow people to treat me this way. And you're going to remove yourself from situations where people disrespect you, where they don't treat you properly. Then you're going to show people that you have a high degree of respect for yourself, which is going to make them respect you more. All right. And you're going to do all the right things. But all of these external changes come from internal changes. You cannot change the external. You cannot put on a mask or put on a show and think you're going to have this big bravado and be this alpha male. It's not going to work that way. It's not good. Even if you could keep up the act, people are going to see through it. And even if they didn't see through it, you're going to see through it. You're going to know this isn't really you. You're going to feel like you're not living an authentic life, right? Just like Austin is saying here, that I think that's what his fear is, because he thinks that he has to be this thing. All you have to do to be a quote alpha male is decide, right? And again, I don't like the term. I'll say to be a man is to choose your own path and go down that path and to rely on your own judgment, right? It's having a clear direction. It's saying, look, I am going to go my way in life. If other people want to come with me, that's great, but I'm able to make my own decisions and I'm comfortable making those decisions and I'm comfortable being myself and I'm comfortable making these choices of how I want to live my life. And if other people care about that, that's fine. If they don't care, that's fine. It's you can't care what other people think. That's the key thing, right? You're going to do what you want to do and it doesn't matter. You don't need the approval or validation from other people. You don't need it from your parents. You don't need it from women, okay? You don't need it from your girlfriend. You're going to do what you want to do and that is what's going to make you a man, all right? That's what's going to make you, quote, an alpha male. It's not about all the other stuff, right? So, but how do you get to that? Again, I talked about Bulldog Mindset membership. I believe that's a way to become a top 5% high value man, the kind of man I'm describing here. And they're going to have a lot more lessons in that. But the key to getting there is inner work. It's working on yourself, right? There's a reason why I put so many books and good books in the book list in the Bulldog Mindset membership, because it's so important, right? It's the environment that you are in. It's practicing the Stoic philosophies that we talk about on this channel and we talk about in the Bulldog Mindset, all right? It's putting that stuff into practice and working on your emotional mastery, okay? It's working on your discipline and your focus, right? So you can be more productive. It's working on building your character and being the kind of man that has it figured out for himself and his life, right? So that you can guide and lead other people, because no one wants to follow someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing with themselves, right? So if you work on those things and you grow yourself, right? You grow yourself spiritually, you grow yourself mentally, right? You grow yourself physically, right? You're challenging and growing yourself and moving outside your comfort zone, okay? And overcoming your fears and the obstacles that are in your way. All of that internal growth is going to produce that external growth, and you're going to be that guy naturally. Okay. I don't want you to try and jump and try to pretend to be some alpha guy that you're not. Instead, what I want you to do is to actually become fucking tough, right? I promise you, you might think you're a weak little pussy. And maybe you are a weak little pussy. That's fine. But I promise you, if you start training for a fucking marathon and you bust some ass, you're gonna become a badass. Okay. If you go out there and you start training Muay Thai and learning how to fight and you put in the work, you're gonna become a badass. All right. If you're training your mind, if you're training your body, if you're doing the things that are going to make you actually tougher and better, you're going to actually become that instead of pretending to be that. Okay. You can't just flip a switch and be like, oh, I have confidence now. No, confidence comes from experience, right? Confidence comes from knowing the possible outcomes of a situation and knowing no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. How can you know that you're going to be okay? It's because you've survived a lot of shit, because you've been able to rely on yourself, self-reliance, right? Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote a whole essay on this and talks about this all the time of being self-reliance, okay? Being self-reliant. And that is going to give you the confidence to know that whatever happens, whatever comes your way, you're going to be able to figure it out. You don't need other people's approval, or you don't care about their opinions. Instead, you are a man that makes his own way in life. And that's the key thing. So you develop that by working on things. That's why I put challenges in Bulldog Mindset members. That's why I make you do hard shit and push you to do hard things. That's why I say your compass is pain and fear. Okay. If you move in the direction of pain and fear, you're going to grow as a person. You're going to become a bigger person, and all of these other things are going to fall into place. That's got to be the focus. It's got to be focused on that. It can't be focused on making external change, not saying some shit to some girl. That's not going to make you alpha. Okay. Acting some way, that's not going to make you alpha. All right. What's going to make you quote alpha is learning how to be a man, which is what I'm trying to teach you on this channel. So don't try and take shortcuts. Do the work that's necessary. Be yourself along the way. I'm not saying be inauthentic. Okay. I'm not saying that at all. And if you're weak, don't just say, oh, well, I'm weak and that's just who I am. That's bullshit. That's not who you are. Okay. You're a fucking animal. You're a fucking beast. All right. You survived genetic lines that all died off, over millions of years, or however many years you want to say. And you are the product of natural selection, right? You got here, okay? All right. A lot of people didn't get here. A lot of lines did not get here, but your line made it. Your genetics made it. Why? Because you're a fucking badass. You're not a fucking pussy. You're acting like a fucking pussy right now. You need someone to kick your ass, and so you stop being it. So stop identifying. Don't identify with being a fucking pussy and being weak. Instead, realize that's where you are right now and say, I'm not going to tolerate this shit. I'm not going to accept this shit. I'm not going to accept less from myself anymore. Fuck this shit. I'm going to achieve what I'm capable of achieving. I'm going to go and I'm going to see that fucking throne up there, and I'm going to take my seat at the fucking table. All right. If you're not going to take your seat at the table, someone else will. So you make the choice, man, but don't make excuse. The one thing I don't want to hear is, oh, I'm weak. That's just who I am. That's bullshit.